Alright, what is up, guys? I got a really good question about how to make a sprite, make it move, and once it goes off the screen, make it come back to the other side of the screen like a loop. Now, this is perhaps the most fundamental question. Like when you're starting to learn Cocos2d or anything, what does a person want to know? They want to know how to put something on the screen and how to make it move, because this is the most basic thing ever, the most important thing ever. So first, let's declare a sprite. So up in the implementation of your whatever your hello world scene, mine is called game scene, but in your hello world scene, you're gonna write cc sprite. So we're just declaring it, declaring the variable like an int or a float, just declaring the sprite. And now in your init, because this is the first thing that runs, you're gonna write sprite equals cc sprite, cc sprite, and press the S button. Now you're gonna get sprite with image named. Now for my sprite, I've added this armless man dot ping, so I'm going to say, type in the file name armless man dot png, and this is going to set this variable, and what you need to do is add it to the screen. Now adding it, you must write self. So what is self here? Self is actually the scene. So your scene is game scene, and you're adding it to itself. You're adding it to the game scene. And how do you add it? Self add child. Now self add child, what do you add? Sprite. Now this is a little bit different from running an action, because running an action you would write sprite run action and then you'd type in your action blah blah blah. But adding a child, you must do self add child. Alright, so anyways, so sprites have different properties. So a sprite has a rotation property. So you can say sprite.rotation equals 90. So this would be 90 degrees. So if you want to rotate a little bit, this would rotate it at a 45-degree angle. What else do we want to know? We want to know sprite dot, well, what do we have here? We have scale. You can scale it. You can scale the sprite. This is I'm gonna scale it by 50%. Hold on. Before we do all this, I just want to show you that this works. So when you add this code, it's gonna put the sprite on the screen. So as you can see, this is part of my sprite, and notice that it's all the way in the corner. Well, all sprites naturally start at 0, 0. In the coordinate system, this is the x coordinate system, and this is the y. So this is plus x and plus y, just like in regular math. Okay, and so when we change this sprite, first of all, let's see. Okay, I want to make this white background here. So now I'm going to change the position of this sprite, and the thing is you can't just say sprite.position.x equals 50. You can't do this, and because the reason why is because this expression is not assignable. So you can't just, I don't know why they make it not assignable, but they just do it like that. You can only do, it's a read-only property. So I can say x equals this, like float x equals this position. It's a read-only property, so you can't change it directly. The only way to change the x is to do this. You are going to make CCP. Now CCP is kind of like the basic Cocos coordinate point. This is going to basically make a point right here. And you can say the position equals 50, 50, or let's say 100, 100. Now, the reason why I'm choosing 100, 100 is because it's going to be somewhere in the middle of the screen. So I'm going to make this comment here. So the screen size, the points, the screen points for iPhone 4, 3 or 4 is 320 by 480 in portrait mode. So the width is 320 and the height is 480. But for iPhone 5, the coordinates are 320 by 568 because the iPhone 5 is a little bit longer than the iPhone 4, so it's got this extra one. Now, this isn't the exact resolution. The exact resolution is actually double this. So the real resolution is 640 by 1136. But we don't. Cocos2d doesn't use this resolution. It uses the point system, which is this. So this is going to be somewhere sort of near the middle of the screen. Anyways, I don't want to take too long making this video. So you can change the sprite position, and let me just show you. So as you can see, it's a little bit higher, and let's change it to 200, 100. Now there's different ways to position your sprite. You can position your sprite like this with in points, or you can say sprite.position type, and if you say position type equals cc position type normalized, then what this is going to do is, instead of using this, they're all if it's normalized, it's basically 1.00 by 1.000. So basically it's like a percent. So if we do cc position type normalized, then we can put it smack dab in the center of the screen by saying 0.5, 0.5. So look at this. See, now it's directly in the middle. So cc position type normalized is very, very useful. Because now you can just kind of visualize it in your head, like, oh, this is 50% to the right, 50% up, you know, it's in the middle of the screen. And if you want it in the corner, you can just say, you know, if you want it 75% to the right and if you want it in the upper right corner, then, yeah, I mean, it's very useful to have your cc position type normalized. But it can get tricky. Sometimes you don't want to use this cc position type normalized. And anyways, another property is the scale. So you can scale X and you can scale Y, or you can just scale the whole thing. Now let's 0.55. So now we're going to cut the size in half. So there you go. Now we have a reasonably sized sprite. I know my sprite is kind of ugly, but whatever, it works. It's pretty good. Now, so you can change the scale X only. You want to, let's see what happens. It's going to be smushed. So, I mean, you can change a lot of stuff. You can play around with it. Let's do sprite.flip. You can flip it, and this flip Y equals yes. And let's do sprite.rotation equals 45 degrees. Now I'm just going to show you what this is going to do. So, I mean, we are just having fun here. What other properties are there? I actually haven't, you know, anchor point. What other properties are there that I can show you? There's color. Now, there's regular color, which has no alpha, and what alpha is it's the kind of opacity if you want to make it see-through. So let's do color RGBA, and you can, the way you're gonna set this color RGBA is you're going to say cc color width, and see we have RGBA. So RGBA means red, green, blue, alpha. So now these are all in percents. So let's say we want to tint it red. So red is going to be at 100%, green is going to be at 50%, and we're going to reduce the red by the blue by 50%. We're going to make it a little bit dim. Let's make it 0.5 at, so let's make it 50% dim, 50% see-through. So here we go, we have it dim, and by the way, 100% opacity or 100% alpha is means it's not see-through. So 0 would be 100% transparent. You wouldn't see it. Now, oh, what else do I want to say? So you can do this, or you can just say cc color, and if you do color, then you have to get rid of this little alpha. Now, so let me see if this works. So see, there's no alpha here. Now, but if you want, there's Sprite.opacity, and you can just make this, set this opacity here. Let's set it to 70% opacity. So there you go, you see I've changed the opacity. What other things do I want to show you? Sprite rotation, scaling, skewing, Z order. So you can do Z order, that puts it on top or on the bottom. So also I want to say here, whenever you add a sprite, you can put it on the top or on the bottom. So if I put this self-add-child background and I make the Z, you can set the Z order to 2. So that means the background is actually going to be on top of the sprite and we won't be able to see it. So I'll just show you. See, so now the Z order is, the background is on top of our sprite. So what we can do here is we can say sprite.zorder equals 3, and now this sprite is going to be on top. And there you go. So that's just changing the the order, the Z order from front to back. I don't think I have enough time to go over moving the sprite yet, because I want to make a separate video for just setting up the timer and how you can use the timer to move the object. So I'll go over that in the next video, but thank you for watching. That was an excellent question, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.